Hey, it's Insane Rider. Welcome to the channel, The Budget Gamer. I hope you're having a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or good night, depending on where you are at the globe. Let's get rolling. All right, so tonight, still feeling under the weather. I'm going to give my best shot, though, to make things work. I'm going to try to stream for about an hour or so. And what I wanted to cover tonight is coin flips. So I usually have a tendency to stay away from decks that have a lot of coin flips. You know, they say that the game, there used to be a trick to land heads on your coin flips a crazy amount of times. I never tried it, and by the time I found out about it, it had already been fixed. And so they say that, you know, you really can't influence a coin flip with how you do it. But that said, every time I play a game or a match where I have a card, whether it's a Pokemon card or an item or a trainer card or anything that needs coin flips, I seem to pretty much consistently flip tails. And so I'm not convinced that it's completely random. And so what I thought I'd do tonight is I picked up picked out a deck that has a decent number of coin flips to it, and I'm going to kind of keep track of things. I'm just going to get my notepad set up here, and I'm just going to see how the coin flips go. I would have to hazard a guess that I probably flip tails 65 to 75% of the time, it seems like. So I know that it has to be the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to test that out tonight and see how it looks. And with that, let me go ahead and show you, kind of run through the deck that I have planned out for tonight. It's basically a deck built around Misty. Misty seems to be the one that I just cannot get a good coin flip with. And so I'm just going to play a water deck, basically, so that I can kind of see Misty in action. And let's just kind of go through the coins here real quick. I'm just getting myself situated. All right, so I've got 2 Krabbies. Those Krabbies are going to lead into Kingler. Kingler's got a coin flip attack. I have 2 Goldines. Goldines will evolve into Sea King, which also has a coin flip attack. Then I have 2 Kangaskhans. Those obviously lead into coin flip for their attack. So altogether, I have 6 Pokemon out of the 10 Pokemon on my bench, requiring some type of coin flip to either do something or a extra something. And then, of course, I have Misty in this deck as well. And so I'm just going to keep track of how these coin flips go. Let me get my notepad up and going here. And let's go ahead and move over, and I'll get started while I get my tracking set up. And I'm just going to do the normal competition, the same competition that's going on right now, the versus the 45 wins. I've finished up my 45 wins already, plus the extra 5 for the 50 missions. And so for me, I've just been using it as a way to find a little better competition than just going to a regular search. So here's my coin flips. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and start the first match. Okay, got my notepad set up, ready to go. So probably not the best put together deck. I'm not expecting it to be the most competitive, but I am expecting to hopefully flip a lot of coins. Hence the coin flips for tonight, and see how it goes. All right, so I don't even really have a whole lot of strategy to this. My thought is I'm going to put the Crazy Kangaroo up front. It's a good wall. I've got my coin flips right there. I'm going to look to get Kingler going. Kingler's got a 80 or 160 point attack, depending on your coin flip. And then Sea King's pretty strong too. So that's kind of my thought. Misty, most likely, if I can get her and get her to cooperate, I'd be looking at powering up basically Kingler. Okay, so with that, I'll go ahead and start the battle. Looks like I'm against a lightning deck. Already got a Mew EX, 2 other basic Pokemon on the bench, so my opponent's off to a pretty good deal. We're going to pull out Professor's Research, see if Professor Oak can help him out a little bit. And with that, it's my turn. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Pokeball. Always want to kind of get the Pokeball going first. Next, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a Professor's Research. I'm going to go ahead and put Goldeen down on the bench. And with that, I will go ahead and assign this Water Energy over to Kangaskhan. Colorless Energy, so I'm covered there. And with that, let's start the first coin flips. There's a tails and a heads. So 1 for 1. But I'm going to keep track of how many... I'm going to keep an overall... And then I'm going to keep how many I actually land myself. I'm just listing this out. And let's call it my flip. Okay, so my opponent's got a Pikachu EX in the active spot. And from here, let's see what they got. Anything else they got going? No. All right. So I'll start next with Seeking. Going to go ahead and evolve Goldeen into a Seeking. And Seeking's got a coin flip too. Flip a coin if tails, attack does nothing. Otherwise, it does 80. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to move a point, start moving some energy over to Krabby, just because I know that the Kingler is going to need 3 energy. With that, I'm going to go ahead and I think what I'll do is play Sabrina. No, actually, though, I'll play Sabrina. Maybe buy myself a round of energy assignments for my opponent. Other Pikachu EX kind of as expected to the front. And with that, I'll go ahead and flip 2 more coins. There's a heads for me and 2 heads. All right. All right, so that's a 60-point strike against that Pikachu EX. So far, I'm looking at 3 heads and 1 tails, and I flipped. My portion of the flipping has been 1 tails, 1 head. So, all right, my opponent still has two on the bench, powering up that Pikachu EX that's sitting back there. And with that, hey Peter, thanks for joining. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and put a 2nd point over on Krabby. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and continue to track my coin flips. There's another heads. And a heads and a tails. Okay. So again, tonight, I'm just going to take it easy for an hour or so. Still battling a cold. But my real curiosity is I just want to track coin flips. Both what I flip initially as well as what are the totals, including whatever the game itself is flipping. Not their coin flips though, but it related to my own. And just kind of see... I'm pretty confident. It seems like typically I'm getting a lot more tails than I am heads. Even though you're not supposed to be able to, good strike by my opponent, be able to really influence the coin flips, I actually want to find out. So I'm just going to track it a little bit. First time I've ever done this, so I'm just kind of curious to see how this is going to play out. At this point, I think I will go ahead and move Sea King to the front. I'm really looking for Kingler to pop up. Hasn't happened yet. I know Kingler will need 3 energy, so I'm already covered on the left side. So I'll go ahead and put energy over here on Grabby. I think what I'm going to do is get this Kangaskhan. I'm going to roll an X speed. I'm just going to put my wall up for a turn. And with that, I'll go ahead and finish. All right. So far, I've flipped 2 heads and 1 tail. So that's the ultimate one I'm most concerned with, is based on my coin flipping technique. How are things coming along? All right, so my opponent's using Sabrina. I'm going to bring Sea King to the front. I'm not expecting this deck to be over competitive. Really what I'm looking for is just an idea on the coin flips. So with that, I'll go ahead and bring Crazy Kangaskhan to the front. Kangaskhan. So there's my first Misty. So I'll start off with Misty. And, oh, I'm kind of lagging. Whoa, hold on. All right. Gonna place that on the other Krabby here. And with that, I'm gonna coin flip. And there's the heads. 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads. So 4 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a tails. And then I got a heads as well. Okay. Give me a second here. So that loads up. I unfortunately haven't seen my KO Kingler. I'm going to give Kangaskhan an energy, and with that, let's test some more coin flips. Another heads and a tails. So heads, tails, and I flip the heads. All right. Opponent thinking through. So they're up 2-1. Let's see what they have in mind. I have weakness as a water Pokemon type to the lightning. So they have an advantage there. And then as I track this, I'm going to track it by round as well. Or I should say match. All right, there's my second Misty. Still no Kingler to be found. Kind of killing me. I'll go ahead and I'll ask Misty to help out again. Again, let's see how the coin flips go. There's a heads, 2, 3. 3 heads and a tail. And then a tails, and I flipped another heads. So unfortunately, I'm just not getting anything going this hand. So we'll just finish up. Here's another flip. Wow, I'm actually flipping really good tonight. The heads. That was a double heads here. And my opponent should finish it off, so we'll give them while they finish this match off, I'm going to go ahead and run my first match totals. And there we go. Battle's over. 2 Greninja and 2 Kingler. Yeah, that would be a good combination. Yeah, if I wasn't so focused on just coin flips, I was going to put something else together, but it's like, man, I just want to hammer coin flips tonight. Take a look. All right. So here's the results of my first game. 1, 2, 3, 8. 13 heads. A total of 13 heads. Five tails. And of the coin flips, I flipped 6 heads and 1 tail. So that's extraordinary for me. Oh, bummer, Peter. Hopefully you get that good. It's a pretty good card to have in your deck, your suite of Pokemon to choose from. All right, so first match, 13 heads, 5 tails. So definitely a strong swag there to heads instead of tails. And my coin flips were 6 heads and 1 tails. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next match. I'm just going to continue tracking this. Again, I'm not looking for the most competitive match. I'm not going to be the most competitive. My deck is probably not built that way. But what it is built for is to flip a lot of coins to really see if there's anything to the fact that you really can't influence the coin flips at all. All right, so that's first round. I'm going to make a quick adjustment to my notes here. Organize it a little bit better. All right, so we're ready for the next round. So let me go ahead and queue up. Thanks again for joining, everyone. Hopefully, maybe you have a little bit of interest in coin flips and maybe you've already tracked it, maybe you haven't. I'm trying a certain particular technique that I always thought worked pretty well for coin flips. And that's what I'm working on tonight, is that particular technique. All right. Kangaskhan to the front. Articuno with a Squirtle. So a little Blastoise EX action coming our way. I'm going to go ahead and play a Pokeball. Of course, there's the Kingler now. Could not get the Kingler last match. Going to place down a Krabby. And with that, I'm going to end my turn. So 13 heads, 5 tails in that first match. So that's not quite a 3-to-1 heads to tails ratio, but it's pretty decent. I ended up losing the match, but kind of expected with the deck I'm playing. This deck is very heavily coin flip centric. There's a tails for my opponent with Misty. Typically, that's what I usually get. Digital coin flip has a certain weight feel. Yeah, I'm trying to just kind of explore 4 things here. So, Kingler. Going to go ahead and upgrade my Krabby to Kingler. I do have my Misty. So I'm going to start with Misty. We're going to test out round number 2 here. Match number 2. And I start with the tails. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this energy on Kangaskhan. And with that, we'll get 2 more coin flips in. There's 1 heads, tails. So I flipped a heads. And overall, we've got 1 heads and 1 tail. Okay. Got War Turtle, so we're 1 step closer to Blastoise. Peter, you'll notice the pause on the edge and then finally lands on either. Yeah, I've noticed that. That's kind of that's back to the weighted thing I think you're trying to indicate there. All right, so I've got a Goldeen, so let's put Goldeen on the bench. I'm bringing Sea King to the game tonight as well, which also has another coin flip. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and put a point of energy over on Kingler. Misty wasn't able to help out. Not going to ask Sabrina to do anything right now. And with that, I'll go ahead and flip 2 more coins. And there's a tails and a tails. So I flipped the tails. And that turn we got 2 tails. Okay. All right, so opponent. Okay, their second Misty coming up. They've had bad luck on their Misties. 2 times 2 tails for their coin flips. Articuno receives a heal. Wartortle just collecting energy there in the back. All right, so I've got a Sea King. I'm going to ask Sabrina to go ahead and help out. I'm pretty sure my opponent's just going to pull that Articuno for it, so probably doesn't make sense. I'm going to put a second point on Kingler. And with that, I'll go ahead and attack. So here comes 2 more. A heads and a heads. All right, so I flipped the heads, and overall we had 2 hits. Okay. Let's see what's up. Next, we're still expecting Blastoise should be here any moment now. We got an EV probably for Vaporeon. Would be my guess. My poor opponent. 4 energy on their Wartortle, and still have not been able to get Blastoise onto the table. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna go ahead and assign this energy over to King. Actually, I'll put this over on Sea King. I'm gonna hold off on my second Kangaskhan. Hold off on Sabrina. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and flip 2 coins. Tails by me, and another tails. Tails. 2 tails. Alright. Next round. My poor opponent trying to get Blastoise going. Hey. Nice to see you again, English. Not too bad. Still feeling sick. Just gonna stream for a little bit, but tonight I'm just I'm playing a crazy coin flipping deck. And I'm just going to track coin flips. I'm really curious. I seem to have the worst luck when it comes to coin flips. Of course, tonight it's going pretty well. But I'm just going to track things and see what the end results are. Alright, so I'm still kind of struggling. Going to go ahead and put a second energy on my Kangaskhan so I can think about retreating it. I'm looking for a second Krabby, which I don't have yet. And with that, I will go ahead and coin flip. So I'm not looking to be overly competitive tonight. Just looking to see how the coin flips go. Alright, so there's 2 heads. Including my flip. Alright, my poor opponent. They've been sitting on Wartortle this entire match. Just waiting for Blastoise EX. There it is. They finally got it. Now Blastoise is really ready to step up to the front and do some business. Articuno's probably going to retreat. And with that, let the damage fly. 100-point shot. Okay, Kingler to the front. KO champ coming up. Oh, you tried regular TCG? Yeah, it is overwhelming. It's kind of crazy. And Peter, don't swipe too long. I swipe in a short distance. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do too, Peter, is I'm kind of tapping it and trying to get it to skip just the very littlest possible. Okay, so I've got Misty finally. I'm going to go ahead and put Goldine, whoops, down on the bench. I'm going to hold on to Misty for a moment. I really want to get that other Krabby on the table. I'm going to assign this third point to the KO King. No Kangaskhan. And with that, let's see how this goes. So, I'm going to flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, we're talking another 80 points of damage. All right. So with that, let's get some coin flips going. There's 1 heads and 1 tail. So 80 points of damage. So I'm going to make a note that I flipped heads. And overall, I had 1 of each. Got my hands full here with 2 iPads. 1 for taking notes, 1 for playing. There's a Squirtle. Here comes another 160 point shot. Down goes Kingler. And with that, I'll put the Sea King into the active spot. I'm really not expecting to win a whole lot here tonight. Again, I'm just really kind of focused on coin flips. Just flick the coin in the middle. Yeah, I'm trying to do short little flicks. There's the Kingler. Unfortunately, no Krabby to go with it. I'll give a point over here. We know this match is about over. Let's go ahead and didn't get anything else. So here's another coin flip attack. And it's tails. So no damage there whatsoever. And this should probably finish off the match. And there we go. I'm just reading Peter right now. Yeah. Yep, I agree with you guys. All right, so there's another loss. Let me go ahead and get the totals real quick for round 2. Six heads. I had 6 heads with that loss. I had 7 tails with that loss. And my own coin flips, which are also included in the others up there, but how I did myself, I had 4 heads, and 4 tails. All right, so just a review real quick. So two rounds in so far, 2 matches. Altogether, I've had 19 heads on my coin flips. A lot of coin flips I'm doing tonight. And 12 tails. So 19 heads, 12 tails. And of my own coin flips, I've done 10 heads and 5 tails. All right. Let's continue on. So again, thanks for joining everyone. I know I've got a couple extras on tonight. One, I'm just kind of still struggling with the cold, so not looking to do anything too intense, too competitive. Of course, I'm never really all that competitive. But tonight I'm testing out coin flips. I've got a kind of a crazy put together deck that has a lot of coin flips to it. As a matter of fact, in 2 matches, I've done 31 coin flips in 2 matches. Go ahead and put down the 2 crabbies. And with that, we'll get started. And of those 31 coin flips, so far 19 have been heads and 12 have been tails. I'm a little bit head on the head side of it right now. My own personal coin flipping, I am 10 heads and 5 tails. Basically, what I'm doing, I'm trying to do like little quick taps on the coin flip so it barely nudges forward, just enough to seem like it ultimately just makes one full flip revolution. In other words, it goes from, starts off at heads, goes over the tails, comes back to heads and lands. All right, so I've got a crabby to swap in. Now, they say you're not supposed to be able to influence heads or tails, but this is the coin flip method I've been using for a long time, and I seem to flip tails so frequently. So I thought tonight, it was like, I'm just going to focus on this and see how it goes. All right, Pokeball. I have a crabby in the front. I put another Kangaskhan on the bench. Professor's Research. I'm really looking to get the KO King going here. Kingler. Go ahead and use this Pokeball. And with that, I'm going to put an energy on Krabby, who can't really do anything yet. And with that, I'll end my turn. Looking at a Marshadow, which I played last night. Had a total blast playing Marshadow, my Marshadow deck last night. Really enjoyed playing that one. That could be ranking up there as one of my favorites. All right, we got the Mankey Primate 1-2 going. Good evolution there for my opponent. 50-point punch. Okay, so there's my Kingler. I think I'll go ahead and put it on the one in the back. Just because I don't have enough energy to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and assign this energy to the one in the back. And at the same time, go ahead and ask Sabrina to help out. My opponent decides to bring Marshadow to the front. And with that, I will end my turn. Nice looking Aerodactyl EX there in the back. Great card. Although I wish the ability was just a little bit different. Primate back to the front. And with that, my opponent takes a 1-0 lead. Looking for Misty. Haven't seen Misty to power up my KO King. So, and of course, now she shows up. Go ahead and put Misty onto Kingler. So, here's my first coin flips of this next match. And I flipped heads and double heads. Okay. So, I'm going to make a note of heads for me. And overall, 2 heads. That one. I'm going to go ahead and place Goldeen down. I'm going to move this energy over to the crazy kangaroo so I can bring it back. And with that, I'll end my turn. So not a very competitive deck, but definitely a crazy coin flipping deck. Not typically how I would build out my deck. I'm not a big fan of coin flips. especially considering I feel I don't get a lot of heads. I get a lot of more coin flip for tails. So tonight's all about just feeding these Pokemon what they need to flip coins. All right, so I've got a Sea King. So I've got 3 Pokemon on the table right now, all ready to start flipping coins. I'm going to go ahead and use an X speed along with an energy. And I'm going to bring Kangaskhan back. I'm going to put in the KO King. And I'm going to flip a coin. Actually, 2 coins. 2 heads, 160 points of damage. Doesn't happen. Alright, so I'll make a note of tails for me on that one. And overall, 1 tails. And head. Okay. Well, my little crazy deck has tied it up. Now Aerodactyl EX to the active spot with 1 energy. Let's see what this Aerodactyl has in store for me. We know we're looking at an 80-point shot coming up here. All right, this crazy deck actually has an opportunity to win it right here. I'm not going to take away the opportunity by using Sabrina. It probably actually would make more sense. Maybe I'm looking at 80-point damages in the back. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I'll just I'll move this energy over to a wall so I can retreat back sooner. I'm going to lose all 3 of my 3 retreats. Really kills it on the Kingler. Goodness. Oh well, I'll just gonna go ahead and use Sabrina. And who's my which Pokemon? Oh, they're gonna sacrifice the Marshadow. All right, gonna use Hitmonlee to try to get back to my Kingler sitting on the bench. All right, next coin flip. Tails and tails. So I flip tails and 2 tails. Okay. Well, that gives me a 2-to-1 lead, but Kingler is definitely going down. All right, another Marshadow to the bench. Here comes another 80-point shot. My opponent ties it up. Good job by my opponent. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Sea King in just because Sea King hasn't had an opportunity yet to flip any coins. I'm going to go ahead and add that energy over to Sea King. I'd rather put a Krabby down, not that the match is going to last that long, but that would be the route I'd want to take. And with that, let's get another coin flip in. And it's tails. No damage there. Okay. But I had the potential. If I could have landed a 80-point damage, I could have been within striking distance again. And with that, my opponent finishes off the match. Good match for my opponent. All right, so let me just toggle through here real quick, and let's look at the results. All right, so match number 3 is also a loss. And had 3 heads. 3 heads, 4 tails. Three heads, 4 tails. And my own personal flipping was 1 heads and 3 tails. Let's make a note here. Okay. So overall, 3 matches in now. I'm at 22 heads, 16 tails. So I'm still to the positive on overall. And on my own coin flipping, I'm 11 heads, 8 tails. So I'm also to the positive there as well. Still. All right, next battle. Jimmy's all decked out in gold crown emblems. Very cool. Going second. All right, so all I have right now is a Krabby. So Krabby's going to go to the front, active spot. I'm sitting on a Sea King. I got a Professor Oak, Professor's Research, Potion, and Sabrina. Start the battle. Pidgey, so we're probably looking at a Pidgeot EX deck. Alright, so I've got a Misty this time, so that's good news. You get some more coin flips potentially going. Gonna start off with Professor's Research card. And with that, I got a Pokeball, so I'll go ahead and use that Pokeball. Goldeen. Go ahead and put the Goldeen on the bench. Don't really have a whole lot else going on. And I'll put this point on Krabby. And with that, I will end my turn. Now, 40-point damage for Krabby is not too bad, but 1 energy. And there's where the beauty of, like, Farfetch'd comes in. 1 energy, 40 points of damage instead of 2. Pidgeotto on the table. Nice 30-point strike with a gust. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do a Sea King. Gonna put my Crazy Kangaroo onto the bench as well. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a heal onto Krabby. And with that, I'll give Krabby a 2nd energy. I'm holding off Misty for Kingler, which needs 3 energy. So with that, I'll go ahead and attack. My opponent doesn't have anything on the bench yet, so hopefully they can get something going soon. Well, they will now. Yeah, I said Jimmy, it's Yummy. There we go, Old Amber. Pidgey, there's Pidgeot EX. 2nd energy, so getting close. Thinking through their next step. I could really use a Kingler right now. There we go. Kingler to the active spot. I've already got the energy I need, so I'm just going to apply this. Well, I could use that energy somewhere else, so let's go ahead and see if Misty can help me out with at least 1 coin flip. So here we go. There's a heads. That's what I needed. I only needed 1. So I'm going to make a note. There was a heads there. And a tail. And a head. Okay. So I'll go ahead and move this energy point over to the crazy kangaroo, and with that, let's go ahead and flip 2 coins. 1 heads and a tail. Couldn't do it. Could have one-shot that Pidgeot EX, but it didn't happen. So my flip was heads. And I got 1 tail, 1 head. Okay. Bench is starting to come together for my opponent, Pterodactyl. Gonna throw a potion. There's a 120-point strike. Had the chance to take that card out, but unfortunately coin flips didn't allow me to. With that, I'll go here. There's my Krabby. Gonna put my Krabby on the bench. I'm gonna go ahead and give Sea King 1 energy. This is either 80 points and a KO or nothing. So let's see how this one goes. Nothing. Okay, so my first tails. First tails. Looks like my opponent's gonna take a 2-0 lead. Crazy kangaroo to the front, just to get some more coin flips in. Go ahead and put Goldine on the bench. Use this last Pokeball. Another crazy kangaroo, although it's probably not going to see any action. With that, basically, I'm just going to let my opponent finish off this match, but I want to get a couple more coin flips in. Tails and tails. And with that, that should finish the match. Okay. They're just spending some cards because this match is pretty much over. Again, tonight the focus is on coin flips. I'm going to go ahead and tap through this, and then I'll get the stats on that match and overall. Okay. Let's see here. So that was a loss. That was two heads. And 5 tails. For that loss. And my own coin flipping was 2 heads, 2 tails. All right, so overall, 4 matches in, 4 losses with this crazy deck. I've had 24 heads in 4 matches. 21 tails in that same 4 matches. So 45 coin flips in 4 matches. So again, that's 24 to 21. Heads 3 ahead. In my own coin flipping, I have 13 heads 10 tails. I'm still, heads is still ahead on both accounts, but the margin's growing closer. All right, next match. Thanks again for joining, guys. I see you guys are having a great conversation. I don't pay any attention to me. I'm just keeping track of the results here. And I know we've had some others jump in and off and on. So thanks to those of you who have also connected in. All right, Krabby to the front. And start this battle. All right, Gengar EX, one of my favorite Pokemon. Matter of fact, I was sporting my Gengar shirt all day yesterday for Christmas. My opponent's thinking through things. I've got a Kingler, a Sea King, an X Speed, and Professor's Research in my hand. All right, Pokeball. Get my opponent going. 2 Ghastlies on the bench for my opponent. I'm sitting on a Krabby that's not really all that effective on the first turn. Looks like my opponent's struggling a little bit with maybe their connection. Down to a time limit. And with that, it's my turn. All right. So we're going to start with Professor's Research. Again, I'm as much looking for coin flips as to try to win. Got some interesting stats going tonight on these coin flips. I'm going to go ahead and give Krabby this point of energy. Knowing I got a Kingler coming up. And with that, I will end my turn. So overall, coin flips, 24 heads, 21 tails. Pretty close. Heads has a slight advantage. Haunter with a nice little strike. I'm going to ask Professor's Research to help out first. I'd rather put my Kingler on a Krabby behind, but it looks like I'm going to have both Kinglers, so it's really not going to make any difference. Goldeen to the bench. Second point of energy to Kingler, one away from being able to attack. I have Misty in this deck, one for coin flips, 2 to help Kingler out. But unfortunately, she's not here. I'm going to go ahead and not a whole lot else I can do, so with that, I'll end my turn. So, question will be will we see Gengar on this turn? Gengar EX, great card. Great health, great damage. Not to mention really cool looking. I'm on my 5th match of the night. 4 losses so far with this coin flipping hodgepodge of a water deck. Not really designed to win. More designed just to flip coins. I'm averaging over 10 coin flips a match. That's definitely helping me track all this. Get some good numbers in. Haunter to the back. Well, BB to the front with an attack. Okay, here's a coin flip. And it's hits. So that's my first one of here. Alright, Krabby to the bench. KO Crab's gonna get ready to get some action going. I'm gonna go ahead and get Goldeen evolved to Sea King as well. So Kingler is a coin flipper. Kangaskhan is a coin flipper, and so is Sea King. So I've got 3 Pokemon ready to flip coins. Not gonna ask Sabrina. Yeah, I think I will. The sleep is quite the attack, so I think I'll just take what I have right now. Gonna flip 2 coins. I haven't made this particular attack work yet, and have it again. So it's a tails for me. 1 tails here. 1 heads here. Okay. Ghastly to the front, Haunter sitting in the back. Professor Oak, hopefully going to help out my opponent. No, I'm using USB-C is what my M4 iPad has. Goes into, it's a USB-C to a video capturing HDMI converter. So it's USB-C to USB-C, and then I have what's called a video, I think it's called like a video capture USB. It's just like a little dongle looking thing, and it just takes the USB-C. Right here, no, actually I take it back. Give me 1 moment. I've got it running into hubs. That's what I'm giving. Let me get you the correct information. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get Kingler upgraded. I'm going to throw a heal on Kingler. And with that, I think I'm going to use... I'd rather take a shot at that Gengar in the back with the damage. Find this energy over here. And I haven't made this coin flip work tonight yet. There's a heads. Alright, first time it works. There's a 160 point damage attack to Gengar. Lots of heads for my flip and 2 more heads here. Alright, looks like my opponent's energized up. And ask Giovanni to help out. And they're going for it. 110 point strike. That puts them on the board. So Sea King is a coin flip for either nothing or something. And Kingler, so I'm going to go with this coin flipper. I only need 1. Goldeen to the bench. I'm going to go ahead and put this energy on my crazy kangaroo. And with this, I'll flip a coin. And I got it. And as soon as this match is over, English, I'll get caught up on you with what I got going. Well, I actually won my first match. I got a heads. And overall, another heads. Give me a moment to get my numbers in order, and I'll run through what I've got going. So that was 4 heads with a win. Oh, it was 5 heads with a win. It was only 1 tails. Oh, 2 tails. 2 tails. And then I had 2 heads. Okay. So real quick, so here's the stats. So for that match, I had 5 heads, 2 tails. And I flipped 2 heads, 1 tails. Overall, 13, 19, 21, 24, 29 heads, 23 tails. I flipped 15 heads and 11 tails. Okay. All right. So I'll go. So what I've got going right now is this. So I'm running off of an iPad Pro M4, 1 terabyte, because it has the extra CPU, the core with it. I'm running USB out of the iPad into a USB hub. That's a powered hub. I had to buy a power connector for it. From that USB hub, I'm going out via HDMI. So out the HDMI port with an HDMI cable. At my laptop, I have a gaming Asus ROG gaming laptop, one of the more of the like the higher end ones. I have a HDMI cable that goes into a HDMI. In this case, it's an old USB, and it's called a USB capture card. And they call it that, but it's really just this like little itty bitty dongle thing. But it's basically HDMI to USB. And then what happens is I'm running OBS Studio. So the iPad that you see on the screen is basically coming from the iPad on that I'm playing into OBS using a scene that's you set it up for an external video source. So, matter of fact, I've been moving everything around, and I think let me make sure I've got everything where it needs to be here. So that's the setup, and then I'm using a USB-C to a Shure Motiv microphone. And then I've got my iPhone running an app called LiveFace into Cartoon Animator 5. LiveFace is the facial recognition system. And then I have a mouse. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 devices plugged in, using OBS for the stream itself, and iPad for all my other long form video content and everything else. Yeah, you just need you can go from your phone into your laptop for OBS. You'll just need that HDMI. Matter of fact, this one, let me I can get you the details real quick. Let me see. Well, I've only got, it says 2 concurrent people on, so it's probably you and Peter. So let me do this real quick. I can get you the actual. I just purchased it off of Amazon. And it's called, let me just type in the description. Let me, I'm going to put everybody on mute a second. Okay, so I'm back off of mute. So yeah, so that's basically it. I'm going from my USB-C from my iPad into a USB hub, powered hub, running a 100-watt power adapter to power all the devices. And I'm going HDMI out, coming around where I meet where the computer is, and then I'm using that device I just mentioned to you. And it's basically an HDMI. It's got the converter in it, and then it comes out USB-C. But because I've already using the USB-C microphone, I had to go with yet another converter, USB-C to USB-A or old school, whatever it's called. And then that gets me into the laptop. And then from there, I run the OBS Studio and then set it up for the iPad. Okay, let me get caught up on conversation here. Let's see. Yeah, everything should work fine with your iPhone. You already bought the capture card, so sounds like you're set there. Yeah, you just may need a converter depending on what you have for ports. And then from there, you just set it up inside of OBS as a video source. And it'll say like USB, 2 for your video source. And then there's your iPad. Now, the funny thing is I'm looking at my stream right now, and with all the cables and everything else I've been doing, it looks like my stream is stopped for a minute. So let me get my stream going again. And let me get my facial recognition going again. I kind of completely paused everything to answer that question. Yeah, and it'll work good with either. The iPhone, they have better true depth cameras than an iPad. So depending on what you're trying to do, I don't think you're streaming yourself. You're just going to stream your screen. So you could do either. You'll just notice that when if you use an iPhone, it's going to have some different dimensions to it. So when you stream, like if I was to plug my iPhone in and stream right now, this little iPad I have for my overlay, it wouldn't look the same. It won't fill in that iPad. It would have a different dimension to it. So you'll just kind of have to tweak between which way you're gonna do it. Okay, let me get my... Somehow during all of this, looking at the different ones here. Okay. Trying to just get my screen back to live. All of that stuff I was doing, I actually paused or did something. Yeah, no problem on the info. If you need any help down the road, just go into my community page, find any posts, and just let me know, and I can even start a new post, and we could just visit back and forth on what you might need to do for hardware or even OBS. All right, so my only issue right now is I've lost my iPad amongst all of this. Trying to get everything back to responding. Okay. All right, well, what did I do to my stream? So my stream is just showing the match, but the match has been over. I'm just trying to. Well, we'll keep visiting. I just got to get my stream re-enabled, my iPad part of it. Okay. Well, I think I've locked up my video stream coming from my iPad. I think you guys can still hear me and everything else. But I've lost... Let me check all my connections again. I'm going to restart my iPad. Never had this particular issue pop up. Let's see here. Let me check my audio. Yeah, no, I'm not getting anything from my iPad. So hang out for just a sec. I'm going to, I'm just going to stop the stream. So I don't know. I was playing around with all these connections to try to give you the best information possible, and I think I just closed my stream. It was only a couple of us on, so let me go ahead and just stop and start. This is a good thing for me to try out anyway, in case it happens in the future. So I'll be momentarily going to stop the stream and then restart it back up. All right, I'm back, but unfortunately it looks like my iPad, everything has kind of locked up on my iPad. So go ahead. Yeah, I think it's going to probably take a full reset for me to, whatever I did kind of playing around trying to answer the questions. I think I did something to something. Well, let me try one more thing. Oh, don't worry about it. It's no big deal whatsoever. I enjoy helping out and sharing what I've learned and all the stuff I've gone through. Plus, this is good. It gives me an opportunity to have to troubleshoot things. But yeah, I'm thinking... Yeah, it looks like it's probably completely down. So at this point, there's probably nothing else I can do except go ahead and close up the stream. We could go ahead and I'll be back on tomorrow night. I'm still struggling with this cold anyway, and I've got my numbers. I'll probably I got some good numbers for my coin flips, but I'll go ahead and Peter, are you still on too, or is it just Egrish right now? I see one concurrent user, so yeah, I'll just go ahead and wrap it up for the night. But definitely, oh, Peter, you're still there too? here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to at least bring this whole stream back up. I at least want to make sure everything's working. So I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to shut it down completely, bring up a brand new one. If you guys want to join, great. If not, that's fine too. I at least need to bring everything back up to make sure it's working. So perhaps catch up with you guys in just a few minutes. So going ahead and wrapping up.